In the spring of 1946, fear gripped the quiet twin cities of Texarkana, straddling the border between Texas and Arkansas. By day, it looked like a peaceful southern town recovering from war, modest homes, neon-lit diners, families returning to normal life. But by night, a shadow stalked the streets. A faceless killer. The newspapers would soon call him the Phantom Killer. And the crimes he committed would come to be known as the Moonlight Murders. It began on the night of February 22, 1946. Jimmy Hollis and his girlfriend, Mary Jean Larry, had parked along a lonely stretch of road known as Lover's Lane, just outside Texarkana. Moments later, a man wearing a white sack over his head, with holes cut for eyes and mouth, appeared from the darkness. Armed with a pistol, he ordered them out of the car, brutally beat Jimmy, and assaulted Mary before disappearing into the woods. Both survived, but the town would never be the same. 3 weeks later, on March 24th, Richard Griffin and Polly and Moore parked their car on another secluded road. The next morning, their bodies were discovered. Both had been shot in the head. The killer had arranged them carefully inside the car, as if staging a ritual of death. The press gave him his name, the Phantom Killer. By April, Texarkana was in a state of hysteria. People locked their doors, bought guns, and stopped going out after dark. The town turned into a fortress of fear, blinds drawn, streets empty, every shadow a possible threat. Law enforcement from both Texas and Arkansas joined forces, creating one of the largest manhunts in Southern history. But the Phantom was always one step ahead. On April 13, 1946, the Phantom struck again. 15-year-old Betty Jo Booker, a talented saxophonist, had just finished performing at the VFW club. Her friend, Paul Martin, came to pick her up. The next day, Paul's body was found along the road, shot 4 times. 2 miles away, Betty's body was discovered under a tree, also shot. Her saxophone was missing. It wouldn't be found until 6 months later, lying in the brush, polished and untouched. The attacks always happened on weekends, under the light of the moon, in quiet, isolated spots. Each crime scene seemed methodical. No fingerprints, no witnesses, no leads. The Phantom attacked couples, usually parked cars, using a .32 caliber pistol. Some said he moved silently, others swore he breathed heavily through his mask, a human ghost who appeared and vanished at will. The last known attack came on May 3, 1946. A farmer's wife, Virgil Starks, and his wife Katie were at home listening to the radio. 2 bullets shattered the living room window, killing Virgil instantly. Katie managed to escape, despite being shot twice in the face, and ran to a neighbor's house, covered in blood. The Phantom had struck again, but this time, he left behind more fear than evidence. Law enforcement brought in Texas Ranger Manuel Lone Wolf Gonzalez, known for his ruthless efficiency. He promised the Phantom would be caught, dead or alive. Yet despite weeks of interviews, stakeouts, and curfews, no arrest was ever made. Police questioned hundreds, detained dozens, but every lead evaporated. The killer had vanished into the dark, just as mysteriously as he had appeared. Many suspects emerged, most notably Yowl Swinney, a petty car thief whose wife claimed he was the killer. But her statements were inconsistent and inadmissible in court. Without concrete evidence, Swinney was never charged with murder. Other theories ranged from a returning soldier traumatized by war, to a local man living in the woods, or even a supernatural entity drawn to moonlit nights. None were proven. The murders stopped as suddenly as they began. 5 dead, 3 wounded, countless terrified. The Phantom was never caught, and Texarkana never forgot. In time, the case inspired urban legends, ghost stories, and even the 1976 film The Town That Dreaded Sundown. But for the survivors, and the families, it wasn't folklore. It was real terror, still unsolved to this day. The Phantom Killer may be gone, but the fear he inspired still lingers. Every time the moonlight hits the quiet backroads of Texarkana, locals say the air grows colder, as if the night itself remembers. Some stories fade with time, but others refuse to die. This was the true story of the Texarkana Moonlight Murders. Thank you for watching Poise Untold Stories. Subscribe for more real-life mysteries, true horror stories, and unexplained events that haunt our world.